Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We are at the trade deadline. We are past it, actually. We're past the trade deadline in the NHL. Um, yeah, a lot of things happened at the trade deadline. A lot of things happened. Man, I don't know where to begin with this one. I don't really know where to begin. Where do we even start? Um, I guess we could start with Ovechkin. Ovechkin, less than 10 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's record of 894 goals. He is less than 10 away. He's in the single digits, and he will more than likely break it with about 15, 20 games to go. I'll talk about the standings in a little bit. But yeah, the Capitals, you know, they were able to get some guys like Anthony Vobiller from Pittsburgh. That's great for them. Andrei Kuzmenko, he's going to the Kings. A big one was the Ottawa trade. Ottawa and Buffalo trading. Buffalo gets Josh Norris. Dylan Cousins goes to Ottawa. Ottawa's looking pretty good right now. Mikko Rantanen, he will be going to the Dallas Stars with an 8-year contract. That is big. That helps the Stars, who are already very, very good and very, very loaded, with even more. Let's see, some other big ones that happened. Brandon Tanev is going to the Jets. Luke Shane, they also got from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's honestly done. The Penguins. I've watched this Penguins team the last couple weeks on national broadcast, stuff like that. It's like, bruh. Logan Stankoven is going to the Carolina Hurricanes for a couple of first round picks, from the Stars. Brock Boeser, I don't know if he didn't move, I don't think. Charlie Coyle, he went to Colorado. Casey Middlestott now, going to Boston. The Red Wings, they got a couple pieces from Chicago. I mean, that's fine, That's fine. And again, I feel like Pittsburgh has given up on the season, because they traded so much away. And I know they're probably going to call some guys down from the ranks, in the AHL and stuff like that. Brad Marchand, that is probably one of the biggest moves. He is going to the Florida Panthers. The storylines are crazy because the Panthers will play Boston on Tuesday night. So, yeah, man. Ottawa also got Fabian Zetterlund from San Jose, which is crazy. So, yeah, man, this trade deadline is insane. The Stars are looking stronger, the Panthers are looking stronger, and the NHL playoffs. Remember, my predictions from way back in October are probably moot now. My predictions way back in October are probably moot in some sort of sense, but yeah, I think with where we are right now, with the way things have been, I don't know. Most teams have about 20 games left, 20 games or less, actually. And teams like the Rangers, Detroit and Columbus, battled in the Stadium Series. And ultimately, at the end of the day, Columbus is now in that first wild card position, and Detroit is not. So, these results matter. Again, Pittsburgh is just down there. Philadelphia, terrible. I don't know why they had the Seattle-Philadelphia game on TV this weekend. Really, really bad work right there by ESPN, but it is what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Stadium Series started at like 5:35 at night, because of college basketball. They didn't really schedule around college basketball that well for the Stadium Series, and ultimately the game ended up being, kind of a meh, type of affair until the very end, which it was 5-3 at the end of that game. But yeah, there are a lot of teams that are going to be showcased on TV that should not be showcased on TV right now. Like, at least they switched out one of those games involving the Flyers, and they switched that to a Washington Columbus game in which Ovi by then will probably have, either he'll be close or he'll have broken Gretzky's record at this point. Washington is leading the entire league at this point. Well, except for Winnipeg. They and Winnipeg are tied for first in the NHL in general. That's how good they are. But, when you break it down, Washington, Carolina, and New Jersey, I mean, my goodness, that is a threesome to be feared. The same thing with Florida, Toronto, and Tampa Bay, a three-way monster to be feared. Now Tampa Bay did lose to Boston this past weekend. Like, they got smoked by Boston, but, which I was very surprised that they got smoked, but they got smoked. But it doesn't really harm them all that much. Again, Boston needs a lot of help. Ottawa and Columbus are clinging to those last two Eastern wildcard spots. And again, there's so much muck from the wild cards onward because New Jersey is looking more and more safe, right now, and so is Tampa Bay. They have over 70 points, but everybody else 70 and below, it's a lot of muck. The West. Again, those Dallas Stars are right behind Winnipeg. I don't think they'll catch up to Winnipeg. I think there's just too much at this point. But, I mean, the Stars are just that good. That is a really good team. I'm picking my Dallas Stars to, go on a run at this point. Somebody from Dallas has to go on a run. It's not gonna be the Mavericks anytime soon. In the West, however, the only wild card that's kind of safe right now is maybe Minnesota. A really, really fun team to watch, when I can watch them or when, they can't be watched because, they don't give Minnesota as many national games and stuff like that. I don't know why. And then the muck continues to muck it up because there's only like a couple teams that could kind of, say something right now. Utah, St. Louis, and Vancouver, which I'm kind of surprised Vancouver has fell out of the wild card, but Calgary's taking their place for the moment. So we'll see if things continue to go. And again, there are about 20 games or so left for most teams. Most teams have 20 games or less left in the regular season. So we'll see how everything goes down in the NHL as it continues to go. And yeah. Meanwhile, on the women's side of things, you have a top four of Montreal, Toronto, Boston, and Minnesota still with Ottawa and New York kind of bringing up the rear, couple of big games, well, not really big games coming up this. I'd say the Sunday game is probably the biggest one. Sunday night after, you watch March Madness and everything like that. So Minnesota, actually, no. What am I saying? New York and Ottawa are kind of headline this week's games, but ultimately next week is where you want to put your money where your mouth is. Montreal, Boston will be next Tuesday night. That's going to be a big one next Tuesday night. Now, Little Caesars Arena will be the showcase this weekend for one of the big games in the PWHL as they continue to rock and roll forward. So that game will be New York and Minnesota. So yeah, that'll be the Sunday night game in Little Caesars Arena this weekend, which I kind of figured it'd be important. But, the PWHL is about to go on their little international break due to, world and qualifying type events. But that's not the only thing that is going to happen over the next couple of weeks. So, college hockey on the women's side, their bracket has been revealed. The 11 teams that will be going and facing up for a national championship because, they had the things got a little weird, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's cool. We have an 11-team bracket. So let me tell you, um, Wisconsin wins the WCHA. Cornell wins the ECAC. Boston wins Hockey East. Penn State gets the AHA, and Sacred Heart gets the New England Women's Hockey Association. They are the 5 automatic bids because remember, women's college hockey has way less teams than the men's side, only 44 at this moment. And the 6 at-large selections: Ohio State, Minnesota, Colgate, Minnesota Duluth, Clarkson, and St. Lawrence. If you did watch the Hockey East Championship yesterday, that was between Boston and Northeastern. Unfortunately, for Northeastern, they could not get past Boston. Kind of obvious. So the first round matchups will be Clarkson and Boston. That will be Thursday, and the winner will play Wisconsin on Saturday. Penn State will play St. Lawrence, and that will be on Thursday as well. And the winner will get Ohio State, the defending national champions. Ohio State. Sacred Heart, Minnesota will also meet on Thursday night, and the winner will play Cornell. Colgate, Minnesota will be the game that will be played on Saturday. And of course, the regional winners of these games will advance to the Frozen Four in Minneapolis on March 21st. The national championship will be on Sunday, March 23rd at 3 p.m. Central Time on ESPNU. It's going to be beautiful. So the winner of the Wisconsin region and the Minneapolis region, will play in one semifinal, and the winner of the Cornell, Ohio regionals will meet in the other. So it's going to be a nice change of pace to have all these games on ESPN Plus. Unfortunately, I do not have ESPN Plus. And also the unfortunate thing is that all these games take place at the same time on Thursday night for the most part. Even on Saturday too, for the most part at the same time. And, I'm not even going to be, not even going to be in here, on Saturday. So, I'm not even really going to be in here looking out for women's college hockey, but I will watch the national championship. I'm definitely going to do that and try to see what kind of draft prospects are coming to the PWHL and stuff like that. Or, what kind of things are we going to get, from some of these lady skaters. Again, not much has changed as far as PWHL, points and stuff like that goes. Hannah Miller still leads in points. Poland still leads in goals. Renata Fast now leads with 15 assists. Anna Renee Desmians, still has the best wins, has the most wins, best save percentage, and goals against average right now. So, again, Montreal is tops in the league for a reason. They've done what they needed to do. They play, and again, the bottom feeders of Ottawa and New York, kind of muck things up. But we'll get some elite matchups over the next couple weeks in the PWHL, which I'm sure to be watching. I've watched a few PWHL games. I haven't watched too many, but I've watched a few. Why don't we talk about the men's college hockey scene last real quick? Okay, so on the men's college hockey side, we have a collision course coming our way of, the brackets will be revealed in a couple weeks. You have the Atlantic Hockey semifinals. Those are set. Holy Cross and Army will face off in one semifinal. Sacred Heart and Bentley will face off in the other semifinal. The Big Ten, the semifinals are set in the Big Ten. The quarterfinals that just happened, Penn State will take on Ohio State. Michigan State will take on Notre Dame. Michigan State, number 2 in the nation for a reason. They're that good. That they're pretty good team. Let me tell you. The CCHA, the bracket there, it's going to be Minnesota State and Bemidji State, and then St. Thomas and Bowling Green. Now, again, St. Thomas is probably still ineligible because they were ineligible in basketball. They're probably ineligible here, but it is what it is. So yeah, that championship will be March 21st. And again, a lot of these championships will be either March 21st or March 22nd, with the brackets coming for the 16-team tournament the very next day on the 23rd, I believe. And this, and again, men's college hockey, also has a little bit of a scheduling problem, but it's okay. A lot of these games have been kind of hard to find on the TV, but it's all right. Only the first round has gone through the ECAC, so the championship will be March 22nd. 8 teams are left: Quinnipiac, Brown, Clarkson, Harvard, and another quarterfinal, Colgate and Cornell in another, then Union and Dartmouth in another, and then the Hockey East, well, the opening round hasn't even started yet. Hockey East hasn't even started their tournament yet. Their tournament will start on Wednesday night with 3 matchups. And, the number 1 team in the nation, the Boston College Eagles, and, I believe I watched Boston College, Michigan State back in October. It was literally one of the first college games I watched. And that was a good matchup there. And a lot of Hockey East teams are clamoring to get themselves in position to get, high rankings to where they, or, win a couple games in this tournament to get themselves into position to be able to get into the NCAA tournament. We'll see what the tournament looks like, in a couple weeks. I won't have a video on it, but I will have something, to say after, after April the 12th, which is the day of the national championship. And then the NCHC has not started their tournament yet. Their tournament will start up this Friday, which should be a good one. It should be a good tournament. Western Michigan, St. Cloud State, Arizona State, Newbie, and Minnesota Duluth, Denver, Colorado, and then Omaha, North Dakota. Now look, men's college hockey has also lost the team, and I forgot who it is that they lost real quick because, there's not much I can really say because a lot of these tournaments are not on TV like that. So, again, college hockey gets even less of a priority than college lacrosse does. Just is what it is. It's the nature of the beast of the college sports landscape right now. But I'm hoping that this tournament will continue to open my eyes up and to finally just kind of, put college hockey, where it should be. Put more games. We don't have to have, Fox 9, Minnesota do a lot of like St. Cloud or Minnesota games and stuff like that. We could get somebody on for real. There could be a national broadcast type thing for men's college hockey, and there could be a little bit more done for women's, just at least a little bit more. I mean, ESPN Plus is like bare bones, for everything. Remember when all the tournament games were on Big Ten Plus? A lot of tournament games were on Big Ten Plus for a good chunk of it. That's crazy. So I think where we're heading right now in men's college hockey, I don't want to say it's going to be another Michigan State Boston College matchup in the national championship, but if it is, I will be glad to see that. But there are some teams that can give some fits. There are some teams that will give some fits in the near future. So we'll find out as soon as we find out. Can't wait to talk to you all tomorrow about this week in indoor football because a lot has happened. I know people are, not really clamoring. Nobody's really saying anything, about me wanting to get Eau Claire Yaxman on the broadcast, but we'll get them on as soon as I figure out what day works best. So what day will work best for Eau Claire? I mean, I know they said to ask me again. They said for me to ask them again, in March. So it is that time, and I want to leave them hanging because I want to get their platform and see what they got going on. But other than that, this week in indoor football tomorrow, NWSL preview for the 2025 season. I won't have as many NWSL videos as I thought I would. I don't really see the point of making too many because, I don't know if I'm going to watch, like that. I'm going to watch, but I don't know if it's going to be like, well, time to make like 12 videos about the NWSL. I don't think that's what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to do that. So, Yeah, from me to you, I hope you enjoy the hockey this week. There's a lot of interesting games going on this weekend that'll help kind of determine a little bit more about some of these playoff structures. You know, and again, yeah, that's all I got to say. Good night, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.